Yo, 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 what is the word, my beautiful black people? There's a YouTuber that goes by the name The Woke Progressive. I've been knowing about him for a little while. I find myself agreeing with a lot of his topics, a lot of his points of view when it comes to the black community and life. He seems pretty intelligent. Now, he did a video a few days ago. I think it was a few days ago. It's called something like The Truth About Ugly Fat Black Women. Now, when you read that, when you hear the title, you're like, huh? What the hell is all that about? But basically in the video, he was saying that, the whole ugly thing is an invention of white supremacy. Um, it's we've heard the conversation. The conversation has went on for a while about, European beauty standards being forced on our people and us basically being taught to hate our own features. That's basically what he was getting at in his video. And that the whole thing about ugly and somebody being ugly is a falsehood. It doesn't really exist. Now, with all of that being said, a few years ago, I actually posed a question to a friend of mine at the time. Now, let me tell y'all something about this guy. All he did all the time was talk noise about people. You know what I'm saying? Roasting people, ranking on people all the time. The biggest shit talker that I knew. All right? And that's all he did. If he got into it with a female about whatever, the first thing gonna come out of his mouth, oh, ugly so and so. That's just how he was. Now, he was also very involved in the church. So I don't know how we got on the subject of babies, but he said something like, there are no ugly babies. So I'm like, hold on, man. What you're saying doesn't make any sense coming out of your mouth. I mean, every single person that you've ever come across in your entire life was once a baby. And I have heard you time and time again talk about people's looks. You know what I'm saying? I have heard you time and time again talking about how ugly this person is or ugly that person is. Well, guess what? All of those people were babies at one time. So how can you say there aren't no ugly babies, but then turn around and call these people ugly? That doesn't make no sense. Now, when I brought that up to his attention, it basically stumped him. He was stumped because I said, okay, if that's true, if there are no ugly babies, but you go around calling these grown folks ugly or whatever, then that means that there had to be a certain age that they reached to where it became acceptable to call them ugly. That's number one. And number two, what exactly happened when they reached that age for it to be acceptable to call them ugly? Okay. What happened between the time they was babies and the time they reached this age to where they're not ugly, now ugly? You know what I'm saying? They're physically ugly. What happened? As babies, now they're not ugly, but as adults, they are. Come on now. So, like I said, I stumped him when I brought this up to him. And I actually presented this question to a couple of more partners of mine a little while ago. And it stopped them dead in their tracks too. You know what I'm saying? No answer. So I am going to pose this question to all of you. The same question. All right. I know how the world works. All right. I am pretty sure that I'm going to bet, you know what? I'm going to say all of you. I don't believe there's not one of you that's listening to the sound of my voice that has not put that label on somebody sometime in your life. And I don't want to hear all this, oh, I'm calling them ugly because of the way they look, because of the way they behave. No. I'm saying I believe that you have called somebody ugly before, and it was because of physical looks. I will go so far as to say that every single one of y'all that is listening to the sound of my voice falls in this category. So I also know this right here. I also know that there's a lot of people, just like my old homeboy, that will turn around and say there's no ugly babies. Babies are beautiful. I know for a fact that there's a lot of people that share that sentiment as well. So my question to all of you is this right here. It's pretty much the same question. What age does a person reach to where it becomes acceptable to call them ugly? Number one. And number two, what exactly happens at that age that makes them ugly? Like I said, I don't want to hear all this, oh, it's the way you act nonsense. No. What I'm saying is I believe that every single one of you has made a remark on somebody's physical appearance. And at one point or another, you've at least called at least a couple of people ugly in your lifetime. All right. And like I said, most people pretty much share the same idea of there's no ugly babies. So once again, I'm going to run this question down to y'all once again. Number one, what age does a person have to reach for it to be acceptable to call them ugly? And number two, what exactly happens at that age to where they become ugly? Leave your comments below and don't lie. Don't lie. All right. I'll let y'all later. Peace.